Introduction, the bit to my crap show. It's a show that no one will ever hear. JTAKRAOSPE23, which is the 23rd number. Wizard 10 and 11. But before that, Chinese red pandas. They prefer to be called Chinese Native American pandas. Please do be aware I was forced to repeat that joke by the bastard love child of Arsenio and Letterman, who of course is more commonly known as Arseman. I'm sorry, okay, that one's on me. Arsenio and Letterman's bastard love child is a lovely woman. I'd better move right along. Wizard 10, the 10th Hal. We begin with a recap of the last episode, followed by another recap of last episode. You see, this episode ran a minute short, so we relearn that Phoenix Wrong is alive despite dying, for that is how a phoenix do. Meanwhile, later we go to Squirmy McEvil Guy, the person I thought was the chief of police, but turns out was just a vague interchangeable higher up to the Detnadat. From the sign on his office, we learn his actual job, which is Bureau of Security something. The Bureau of Security being Japan's FBI. For the purposes of this show, I guess. And now Squirmy is showing his senior assistant-looking guy that he's been stalking the mage called Wizard, and has a photo collection to prove it. Well, not so much photos as printed screen caps from last episode, but it's enough to get him riled up.
Do you see from this the mage called Wizard's true colors?
True colors? Boss, this just shows that he has a reversible trench coat.
That's what I meant. It proves that his fashion senses are horrible. Just look at all that red. Blech. At this rate, it looks as though we must activate subplot Q-3.
As to foreshadow, Squirmy McEvil Guy then opens a briefcase with a chunk of kryptonite in it.
It isn't kryptonite, it's a magic stone like the one— You know what? It doesn't even matter, sis. You'll find out soon enough, voices is in my head.
Okay. So the intro theme plays out, playing us to where else but the antique store living room of the mage called Wizard. I say store, but again, that's more title than description. After all, the closest thing to an antique in the store is an unplugged landline phone, which is actually just a Barbie accessory. Oh, for all you young kids who shouldn't be listening to this, and I'm certain are not anyway, a landline phone's an old sort of phone that's imbued with the power of Earth. Oh, and Barbie's an Australian barbecue grill. And Australians are alien versions of us. Seeing that my narration's going nowhere fast again, Lucy chats up the mage called Wizard. You should be careful about using that dragon ring.
Look, just because it makes a dragon head pop up on my suit, it doesn't mean that people will associate me with the clan. Besides, I already killed Japan's only black person. Who's gonna notice?
I was talking about Robo-Smog's threat to—
What, chip away at my confidence? Yeah, I'm really concerned about that. Derby Devil's dingling. Look, I'm driving around till I chance by a funky phantom. Laters.
The mage called leaves before Lucy can get a word in about their magic crystal ball, which would hypothetically be useful for monster tracking. Though that's if we ever see it again, which I doubt we will. So the mage leaves, and then something unexpected happens. Holy crap, it's a customer! Oh, wait, no, of course, false alarm. Entering the shop now is just Squirmy McEvil Guy and his entourage of two guys in suits. Collectively, I'll call these three the Corporation. The Corporation declare their intent to have dark-haired Jiminy Glick make a ring of their kryptonite block, but Glick refuses, saying, I don't know what sort of establishment you think you're in, but you can't just barge into someone's home and expect them to render services.
Actually, we're Japan's FBI. Basically, as far as any of you know. So we can do whatever that we want.
But you can't force him to—
That? What are you doing here? I thought you were on the missing children's case.
No, you see, I'm just a manifestation of your conscience. Ooh.
Another one? Whatever. Shamrock, Michaelses, grab him and let's go.
We're on it, Mr. McEvil Guy.
Yeah.
The world's least Irish man and the middle-aged heartbreak kid grab dark-haired Jiminy Glick, then haul him out the door. Lucy doing nothing to stop them because she's apparently a fan of the Attitude Era, and Adetnadet doing nothing to stop them because she's a skirt. Meanwhile later, MC Whistles happens by yet another young man being attacked by yet another funky phantom. This funky phantom is gargoyle themed, so I'll call him Steve. You would think it's to keep with the wrestling names, but really it's just that he looks like a Steve. Although, by pure coincidence, he does sound just like my impression of Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I don't know who you think you are with your candy-ass rings and your ass motorcycle with your assy face on it. But let me tell you this, you so-called mage-called wizard. Phantom Steve's gonna knock that assy face of yours straight into your ass.
What?
Exactly!
So the two get to fighting, but Steve's a tricky one in that he has one trick. He can turn into a statue like Kirby. Kirby probably being a more obscure wrestler's name that I would have gone with if I did not feel I was doing my job to confuse the listener enough. The mage called considers turning into a puddle and eroding Steve, but he figures that would take a while, so instead he uses his giant hand trick to crush him. Sadly, it does not work, for Steve doesn't stand still and wait for the cheap effect to hit him. Instead, he runs away, shouting as he leaves,
"The joke's on you, I'm a coward!"
Minding that by runs away, I mean he jumps off screen and then, I guess, flew away with his immobile fakey wings. Meanwhile later, Genie walks into the antique store, which he somehow wasn't in earlier. The place is just a bit creepier than norm. Dolls strewn about the place, wooden figures moving of their own accord. Really? So he asks Lucy what's up.
"Oh, this is just a filler scene, so I called Kring Lagat the toy demons to chip away at your sanity."
Lucy.
Tee.
Meanwhile, later still, MC Whistles is talking to the guy who was attacked by Phantom Steve. But not, of course, before taking him to the tranny donut shop to help him relax. And, of course, our mage called crosses his legs like a woman to help him relax further.
Oh, it's comfortable to sit like this. What was I gonna say? Alright. You're being targeted by funky phantoms and their minion Gahools because they want to unleash the ugly person inside your soul.
Inside my soul?
Not your actual soul, you lost that ages ago. I'm just explaining it to you this way because you look stupid. Anyway, if I take out one of the funky phantoms targeting you, they'll all stop.
Why?
How in Satan's severed third nipple should I know? Do I look like a funky phantom? It's just some weird rule they have. Look, just don't get in my way and I'll take out the phantom in a week or two. You can be back to your life, if you can call it that, without a soul and act like this never happened. Although I have to warn you of this. On the off chance you run into a black person, stay away from them.
Well, okay, sure.
It's not a race thing, they just disguise themselves as... Oh. Alright.
It's just one thing, though. I want to meet someone in the next scene.
Alright, fine.
Oh, and my name is...
Don't care!
Meanwhile, in the next scene, Darker Jiminy Glick is being coerced by Squirmy McEvil Guy to turn his kryptonite into a magic ring. How is it that you even know I make these?
It doesn't matter. I lost the preciouses and needs to stay fashionable.
And that's when MC Whistles and Young Man of the Ark show up. MC Whistles, help me being held against my will.
Under the desk with you. Shoo, shoo.
I really don't care about what's going on right there.
You're that mage called wizard.
Oh, do you think? Actually, how do you know that?
Just tell me what you want and what he's doing here.
Did you just hiss?
I just wanted to ask you about my father.
I told you before. Impotento the child taker is dead. Get over it.
Impotento?
He was a magician. It's just that I don't think he was my real...
Ends of story. Get out.
So they get out and reconvene at the antique store, wherein the target of the Ark explains to MC Whistles that he thinks Squirmy killed his father. Or possibly is his father. He seems to be sure now it's the killing one, probably because he's seen Squirmy and doesn't want to think of him procreating. Squirmy was good friends with my father. It only makes sense that he'd kill him. Besides, that nonsense story you gave me about a monster killing him? Pfft, as if monsters are real.
You were just attacked by a bunch of them a few hours ago.
Is that what's going on? I keep forgetting I have one of those memento dealies.
Why did we decide to let you stay the night here?
The dolls will be suspicious if there's no one in Glick's room.
Lousy high-maintenance demon toy swarm.
Did you say demon?
Yeah, sorry, I'm done acknowledging you. Good luck surviving the night.
Meanwhile, the next day, MC Whistles seems to have forgotten about the young man he found mildly annoying. So on a whim, he catches Squirmy McEvil Guy on his way out of work.
Were you waiting outside all day?
Of course not, I can teleport.
But isn't that your motorcycle?
Right, like I'm just gonna teleport and leave the motorcycle with my face on it.
Tricksy mage called wizard. We humans can take care of ourselves.
I don't know where that came from, but you're human?
Beep, 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 beep. One moment. Squirmy McEvil guy, what can I do for you? Right. Stupid offspring being attacked. Still seems not to know I'm his father. And why were you stalking some teenage fetishists? Really, Shamrock, we've had discussions about this. You being Irish has nothing to do with... You're not even... I'm on my way.
Squirmy hangs up and drives off, but MC Whistles, being clever as he is, thinks to follow. And so it is we go to the abandoned, if needlessly established via sign, recycling center warehouse, wherein it seems that son of McEvil Guy, which is to say Shane McEvil Guy, is investigating the death of his foster father. That is, the death of Impotento the child taker.